From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Come to the Garage Heroes in Training podcast. We're back. I got another guest, Miss Vicky. You're hosting.
I'm hosting. Oh, hi. How are you?
Miss Vicky, we have a guest, and I have purposely not told you what they do or who they were or what we're talking about because I wanted that authentic, immediate response. So, from Race Setup Pro, long awaited, millions of times we rescheduled this thing because one or the other of us screwed everything up. Racing cars get in the way. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Jeff Zisssulis, welcome to the podcast. We did it.
We did, and good things come to those who wait, right? So
there you go.
Right?
We're hoping. You look like you're happy coming into the podcast. Hopefully, at the end, you'll still be like, "Oh, that was worth my time." We'll see. We'll do the best we can.
I'm sure.
So, Jeff, you've kind of been making the rounds a little bit. I think you've talked to almost every one of our friends who have a podcast about you and your company and everything. So we just decided we would talk about the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it is good. You all seem to have a different fan base. Some of them overlap, but then there seems to be unique listeners. So we're happy to be on and introduce ourselves to some more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of funny. I had like 3 different people say, "You should have him on." I'm like, I know. We're working on it.
We've been trying for a while.
Yeah, it was like, okay, how about this week? And then he'd be like, oh, wait, I didn't see that. Okay. And then I'd be like, how about next week? And they'd be like, oh, I'm down to travel. So it was just a confluence of errors and just a debacle of trying to control my schedule. You know what happens when your customer does not care if you have a life? I know that doesn't come to your, but it just happens sometimes. Mine have less than tolerance. But anyway, Jeff, you have a great product. Before we get there, though, you did a little racing. You did a little high performance driving. How's your past going, and what's your plans for this year?
Yeah, great. Thank you for asking. So I'll go back a little farther. I started in motocross, and I sucked at it. And after multiple broken vertebrae and then putting myself in a wheelchair.
To the joke, yeah.
At the motocross track, they say with age comes a cage.
Yeah.
So I now understand that. So 2017, I did a track day in a 2012 Boss 302 in the rain. And at the end of the day, I asked my instructor, his name's Butch. And I'm like, Butch, one piece of advice that you give me that I should take away from today. And he said, go buy a Miata. Yep. And I took it seriously. So 2 weeks later, I had a Miata. It's when you could get a decent Miata in 2017 for, $2,000.
Pre-plague pricing.
Yes. So bought the Miata and did what people do. I drove it to the track a couple times, then bought an open trailer, then bought an enclosed trailer, then bought slicks and suspension and brakes, and then bought another Miata with a bigger 160 horsepower engine. So I did about 150 track days in Miatas, and then said, now I need a high horsepower car. So now I have a E36 M3. So I'm whopping, mid 200 horsepower in my current car.
It's like triple your Miata, though.
Right. And I'm somewhere in the 275 track days since 2017. So COVID was really good to me. Working remote, I was able to just go on the road and work from tracks and, around my calls and emails and get some seat time. But I have done time trials, done a lot of HBD, did some wheel to wheel, did grid life last year. My big claim is I came in 8th overall in GLGT.
Oh,
So
GT. Okay.
in GT,
All right.
yeah. So yeah, I've done it all. I instruct and just get out on track as often as I can.
Nice. GLGT and your BMW?
Yeah, so I just sold. I had a S54 swapped E36. So
I was
yeah.
going to say you were outgunned in the one you said.
Yes. If you watch the pit race, I actually let a friend of mine drive the car. He finished third overall, but he blew up his engine at Laguna Seca, so he needed a car. So with like 10 days before the race, he called and said, "Okay, I'm going to take you up on your advice. I'm going to borrow your car." And I'm like, "Great, but my other car is not ready." So in 10 days, I got my backup car ready so I could race that. But I was, I don't know, 150 horsepower out of class for that car. But yeah, finished eighth overall. Planning on doing a couple of TC races this year, hopefully Lime Rock and the Glen, but we'll see. My wife is expecting in July.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You better not go to Lime Rock then.
Yeah, well, probably not, but we'll see. And normally I would have my business partner here, but his wife had twins about 3 months ago. So he's just getting back into the swing of things for work. And so I told him I would hold this down, but there are two of us behind the scenes.
So. With twins, I can't imagine him getting back to normal anytime soon. So,
but he has done a track day this year. So
really?
Very impressive.
Post twins?
Yeah, he did a test and tune a couple weeks ago.
Wow. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That would be terrible. Well, not the track day part, the reception at home. Oh, honey, how was your weekend? Oh, I had a great time. Blah blah blah. I had twins.
Yeah. My plan is get in as much as I can by mid-June, then take about 8 weeks off, and then try to get some in. Lime Rock is fairly close, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But if Baby Z comes early, that works in my favor. So
yeah.
Baby Z, that's adorable.
Baby Z. Yeah, we haven't come up with a name yet, and Baby Z just sticks. Everybody remembers it. So
my gosh.
All right. I've got you by a few years. Here's the situation. Here, let me solve your problem for you.
Okay.
This will solve all the arguments.
Is this your first?
No.
Okay.
Get a large baby book. This is for everybody. Get a large baby book names, right? You go through the book. Pick all the names you like, right? Ignore everything else. She goes through the book. She picks all the names. You switch lists. You cross off the ones that it's just like when Vicky said Troy. Sorry to all the Troys out there. I
there was no Troy.
I know. Cross Troy off. Now you have a list where you both are happy. And then it's so much easier. Much. No arguing. No, I want to use my grandfather's middle name was Wilbert. I want to use Wilbert. And you're sitting there going, I ain't having no Wilbert. But it just solves the problem. All the arguments go away because you're both happy. You're both dealing from wins. It's so easy.
As a married man, I know what the name will be. It's going to be Yes Dear.
Exactly. The name is going to be Yes Dear.
Yes Dear. Whatever you want it to be. Yes Dear.
Baby Z is just so awesome, though.
Yes.
I really don't think the registrar for the state of Connecticut's going to be like, "Hey, Baby Z." Okay.
No, I'm saying as a nickname, that's really cool. Yes. For now. Yeah,
I've seen worse.
His name is Little Jeff, but we call him Baby Z.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So that's the plan for the year. Tim is looking to do TC. He also drives E36. So So that's it. Get on track. This weekend, I'm actually doing something that we don't offer as a service, but COM, or formerly Corvettes of Massachusetts, COM Sports Car Club. I'll be at their first event of the year, and I'm doing trackside analysis for about 15 people. So because it's a big enough group, we do a lot of events with them. I'm not doing the event, so I'm going to be doing trackside support to just show people, how impactful this is. So that's my next event is in a couple days. You
know what the best part about this is? Vicky has no idea what you do.
And it's killing her right now. Not yet.
And it's killing her. You're like, I'm going to go to the track. I'm going to do what we do. And she's like, what do you do? What do you do? Bill won't tell me.
Bill
won't tell me. Bill does stuff at tracks. Yeah.
I
It
help
might
people
be
with the
something with either race or setup or pro. Your choice.
yes.
One of those. One of
Yeah.
those things. So,
Yeah.
so any chance we'll see you at NASA Northeast NJMP?
I hope so.
Okay.
So having some timing issues with my S52. Now that I'm driving my backup car, I realize that it's making a whopping 209 horsepower instead of the 260 it should be. So
So close.
so close. So paid a lot of money to have way less horsepower than I should.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I did a few NASA events with my race car. The one that I sold was Matt Wasilewski. He was a big NASA guy. I think he still has the NJMP track records for both. Maybe not with Thunderbolt and the new pavement, but I know he had the Lightning for GTS 3 or 2, whatever he ran in. So, yep.
Yeah. That's
And
pretty
maybe
cool.
some endurance racing if you have an open seat. I did a couple Champ Car events.
Oh, we have yet to do Champ Car. We don't have any cars that fit in Champ Car. Their rules and our cars do not coincide. It's like these aren't the droids you're looking for us. So actually,
well, we have it. We have the E46, but that's
that would fit.
We've been having gremlins with that, and I think that we've probably finally figured them all out.
Yeah,
So
most of our cars have engine swaps, so Champ Car doesn't like them as much.
Right.
Mm.
Right. They're not swapped for power or speed or anything like that. They're just swapped because the other engine broke. So, it's like, oh, you'd be in what's the Champ Car top class? It's not EC, is it?
Some sort of unlimited.
Yeah, some sort of, and it's got 110 horsepower. I'm thinking there's going to have to be some serious car issues with the rest of the field for us to do anything near a podium, or there only be 2 other cars. But yeah, there's that. So, Miss Vicky,
yes,
it's come to the time.
I know. I'm so curious because I'm trying to figure out what area setup he's talking about.
I know. She's like, she's not yelling at me.
No,
she's not yelling at me over the phone.
I'm fully engaged in this one because I enjoy this part of the podcasting. These type of conversations. So what do you do? What do you do? Tell me. I'm ready to jump out of my seat. What do you do?
We help people with the black box known as a race car.
Oh, okay.
So to make it more suspenseful, being at the track,
keep her waiting,
wanting to go faster, driving a Miata, realizing I can't, I don't have horsepower to go faster, so I have to figure out how to drive better and get my car to handle better. So in those first couple of years was fixated on handling and, just learned and read what I could. And then, started getting asked a lot of questions. And the question that I get asked the most and I hear the most at the track is, what tire pressure should I start at?
Or what brake pads are you running? Those are the two.
Yes. So and then I started asking the questions. Well, what car do you drive and how much does it weigh and what tires are you running? And then they'd come in after and they're like, okay, what hot pressure should I have? And I'm like, I don't know. What are your temps? And it was rinse and repeat at every track day, answering the same questions. And then I realized that I had this knowledge about how to, help people set up a car. So we go online, we buy parts, we see what the forum says we should do for an alignment and tires and tire pressures and all of this. But it's still only looking at a small piece of, the big picture, because it's not taking into consideration track conditions, your driving style, your settings. So Tim, who also drives a similar car to me, was doing the same, answering the questions. And one day, was chatting with him about this idea, and he said, how can I help? And I'm like, great, because you do software magic and I don't. So Tim is the brains behind Race Setup Pro, but it's essentially a race engineer in your pocket.
Okay.
So anybody can go in, sign up. They get a free weekend, and you get 3 days free, and you get a couple track days, a couple different setup analysis. But on your computer, go in and enter everything you can about your car. Now, this still works if somebody has a bone stock car. Your first track day, you're showing up in your brand new C8 Corvette. it will actually help you with your tire pressures. That might be the only adjustment you can do for the day, but it's going to be far more educated than the person parked next to you driving a Miata. That you ask them, what pressure should I be? But it will go all the way through a full race car, even one with an engine swap. So it's going to ask you about your tires, your suspension, your corner balance, your alignment, your aero, your sway bar, your brakes. And it can do a base analysis and just give some basic feedback on what it sees. But the magic is when you do your first track day, you go in, you tell it the weather conditions. It's going to recommend, cold pressures. If you're experienced, you may not agree with our pressures, but we don't know everybody's level of experience and driving style. So it's on the conservative side. So we're assuming the tires are going to climb 4 to 6 degrees. Mine tend to climb 10 to 12, but we're never going to recommend somebody start at 20 PSI that we don't know. So it's just going to make a recommendation. You go out, you do your first session. If you're doing track days and you do not have a pyrometer to measure your tire temps, you're missing the boat. It is by far the best investment. It needs to be in every toolbox. And all I ever hear when I show people the one that I have is they go, wow, that's really expensive. I'm like, wait a minute, $500 to have the greatest tool for helping you get your car set up is not too expensive.
Right.
Buying new tires because you're chewing them up or not using them, that's too expensive. Come off track, take your hot pressures, take your hot temps, enter them in, and that is when the real magic happens. Because now our platform is looking at the data compared to your setup, asking you some key questions about what is your car doing on track. Is it oversteer? Is it understeer? Is it quarter entry? Is it corner exit? And then we're going to make recommendations because you are in control of your car on things that you can adjust. Now, they do come in order of priority. So the easiest being tire pressures. Boom. If you have an adjustable suspension, it's going to make recommendations on your suspension. It's going to recommend sway bars. It can even recommend things like spring rates. You're probably not going to change springs at the track unless you're, a real experienced racer.
Not in between sessions, no.
Right. But it's going to give you the groundwork to make your next track day better.
Right.
And just like Garage Heroes in Training, like it's an endless, learning. Getting your car set up, your car's never going to be set up perfectly. Because the minute you have it set up perfectly, your confidence goes up, you push harder, and you now expose the next gap.
Right.
And highly unlikely that you're always driving on, heat cycle 1 stickers, right? And brand new suspension as your parts wear. Like your car's handling characteristics will change. People in endurance racing, do you need the most camber or do you need the most longevity out of your tires? Right? So are you looking for maximum grip? Or are you trying to get, X amount of time out of a set of tires?
Right.
So our software helps with all of that. And then most importantly, it records all of the changes. Because I've had a ton of people show me the spreadsheets they keep. They never go back to them. But they do have all the data.
They never what?
They never go back to it.
Right.
They go, oh yeah, I have the spreadsheet. Here's what we ran last time. Maybe they look at it. With our platform, so this weekend with COM is New Hampshire. Day 1 is, your test and tune day. Day 2 is time trial. So a bunch of drivers will run whatever tires they have for Saturday and then run stickers on Sunday and then wonder why their car handles differently on Sunday than it did Saturday. It's like, wait, you changed a component. Well, we're able to record all that. So next time, your next event, you can go in and you can go, okay, here's what my car did on stickers. And then we can make adjustments to that compared to, your 20 heat cycle tires that you were running on practice day. Because it automatically saves as you make changes. And the idea is it's easy for it to go back. And this is where AI comes in, is AI is learning, the path that you're on.
Right.
Learning your platform. So that's where there's actual data sources behind the scenes to look at tire temps and pressures, Again, somebody can say that, they're experiencing understeer going into the boot at Watkins Glen. Well, you're just not braking early enough. Like if you wait too long, you are going to get understeer. We don't have a way to determine that, but we do have a way to make the car handle better most of the time.
So what data systems do you use? What is the upload for that? I mean, besides just a general conversation.
Yeah. So
what information how do you grab your information?
So that's the best part is we're not connected to your Garmin or your AIM or your Fire Labs. We do work, we partner with Fire Labs and have done some nice promotions with them.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah, me too. I have stopped downloading data since installing that in my car. But you don't actually need the car data for this. So we need to know your setup, which is really the biggest obstacle for most people. Most people can tell you what their suspension is. They can't tell you where their clickers are today. They may or may not know their spring rates. I'm going to say about half the people actually know what their alignment is. They know what they want it to be, but what it
doesn't change once you set it. It's fine.
It's good for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
easily.
So that's data entry. And we ask everybody, do that on your computer, because if you have a full race car, it's like 140 data points. And some of it you're going to have to look up. So do that on your computer. It can be done on your phone, but it's still just a lot of fields. Now at the track, when you get out of the car, you're manually entering your hot pressures and your hot temps. And I am in conversations with a company that does have a smart pyrometer to see if there's a way for us to incorporate that. But those are very early conversations. And that's going to be even more expensive than the Longacre that I use today. But yeah, you manually enter your hot pressures, hot temps, and then it's going to ask you 3 or 4 questions. And you literally will check the box for what your answer is. So we don't need G-force. We don't need miles per hour. We don't need any of that. We're asking the driver to tell us what their car is doing on track. And takes usually 30 to 45 seconds, and you will get your recommendations for changes. And like I said, everything from aero to spring rates to brake pads to, and then your clickers, I had somebody that had a 4-way adjustable suspension on their C8 Corvette. I'm like, okay, nobody's tried it yet in our platform. Let's see what it does. We gave him the output. He called his suspension guy. His suspension guy gave the same answers our software did. And I said, now you don't have to bother him on a Sunday. So the outputs are consistent. There are areas where it will be inconsistent. We were doing some testing with a true race engineer, and he entered an LMP3 car. I will tell you, our software is not accurate for an LMP3 car. It is really designed for production vehicles.
All right, Miss Vicky. I got about 60 questions here. Do you have any before I start?
I'm going to let you start.
Because, Jeff, I have Excel spreadsheets, and they are updated. No one else on the team looks at them, but I have them.
That's impressive. And there's actually, I say that, but there's a lot of people out there that do have the spreadsheets. The hard part with a spreadsheet, and this is what's happening with the pro race teams, they have 8 people. All 8 of them have spreadsheets, but nobody can look at everything on all 8 of spreadsheets at the same time. So this is where AI becomes very helpful. And
indeed,
the training we've done on getting the AI to read all of the different fields properly.
Yep. Okie dokie, sir. I've got questions. Okay. Let's just start with tires. I think I organized these somewhat, so I may have to go back. But on tires, a lot of people deal with, I have sticker tires, and then I have this other class of non-sticker tires. There's a wide gradient in there, and what we consider a non-sticker tire is vastly different than what an autocross person would think or what a sprint car person would think. Our non-sticker tires are what we use on Sunday that we used on Saturday. So they've got, 10 to 12 hours of use, and the sprint car guys are like, but I've got 2 racing cycles in there. So does it do anything related to heat cycles or miles driven or hours, minutes?
So it's not recording that. We did look at trying to capture how many heat cycles somebody has on their tires, but we don't know if you're running the same tires. Like, you enter your setup for Saturday, we don't know if you switch tires in between. So trying to marry the software to a set of tires, where it comes into play for somebody like yourself is you would put in the notes that these tires have 8 hours on them.
Yeah.
Right. So then the output is going to show you for a set of tires with 8 hours on them. Here's how the car was handling. Here's what you did.
Okay.
So the next time you go and put on tires that have, a day on them, 8 hours on them, you're going to go, hey, we realized that we had more oversteer when we were running tires with 8 hours rather than 0 hours.
So could we kind of cheat a little bit and say, let's just pretend we're running Hankook RS4s?
Yep.
Could we say Hankook RS4-0 and Hankook RS4-8s and Hankook RS4-16s?
Yeah.
And treat them as if they were different tires?
You can. So this is where the AI learns. So if we could get everybody to do that for the Hankook RS4s, like dash whatever.
That's right. Okay, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to have run this one weekend before we talked.
Yep.
Last year. But, best laid plans, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I believe the software database, I'm going to use software and database. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but they kind of function. The software database keep track of car changes, car updates, and can look at various car settings and their effects, right? So there's kind of like, we call it a car Bible, where we know what we had at each race and when we change things. Is there any functionality for like a preventive maintenance, like you need to change your brake pads or you need to look at your rotors, because the last 10 times when you went 20 races, your rotors cracked on race 21. Perhaps at race 19, we should go do at least a little inspection, something.
Yeah. So
something for the idiots out there.
Yeah. So it's definitely come up, and it's one of those,
on the list
that people have asked about. We just don't know how far down those rabbit holes to go. Like when we start tracking tires, tracking rotors, brake pads, oil change.
Yeah, I've got thousands of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could enter your Blackstone data in there and
right.
Not that I've already thought about this, but it's fine. I got the
No, we've definitely been asked for that. Can you tell me when? And we're like, but if you skip a track day, like you don't enter one.
Yeah. I won't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Specifically for endurance racing.
Yeah.
Does it ever suggest that you get a different driver?
Oh my God. That's a real thing.
Every track day I do at the end, I complete the day and the advice is let someone else drive your car.
Yeah, get a different driver. I'm just curious, just one of those things. Cause it's, I think the challenge that I see when I overthink things, which as we get to know each other, you'll realize is 24/7, 365, is I don't want the car to be as fast as I could be optimized for one of us. I want it as fast as I can be for 4 of us. And the 3 or 4 people don't drive the same. Like I don't drive the same as Vicky, who doesn't drive the same as Jennifer, who doesn't drive the same as whoever our first person is in the car. And it really doesn't matter if I'm clicking at like 1 second faster and Vicky's clicking at 0.2 seconds faster and Jennifer's 10 seconds behind. We're not winning. So is there any way to do an optimal setup for a team?
Um, so manually, so back to the software records the data. So let's say things went well with that test and tune day you were headed to, and it wasn't the Miata, it was your endurance car. So after each session, you could actually put, this is who was in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's, Vicky likes this because Vicky likes understeer, Bill likes oversteer,
Yeah,
right?
baby.
So, right? Or vice versa. Yeah. Like, I mean, I have friends that, they drive the rear tires off their cars and then they ask me about alignment. I'm like, you don't want my alignment. Like,
Nope.
I don't drift the corners like you guys, like you do. So, yeah, but that's where your test and tune data is going to be key, because you're going to be able to go back and look and say, okay, so when Vicky got off track, it said to do this. When Bill got off track, it said to do this. You said Jennifer, when Jennifer got off track,
Sure.
it said to do this.
Right.
Okay. So if we had let's say we did 240 laps in a day and there's 3 of us, so there's 80 laps each.
Yep.
How would we go about using the software because I can tell you who drove where and when we did the pit stops and everything. It gets a little weird with traffic, but generically I can clean up the data that goes in, I think.
Yeah. So for endurance racers, it's more about race prep. So it's the event you do before the race and what you learn.
Okay.
I
Right.
think it's going to be more important than in the race, because the driving conditions are going to be different. In a race, you go 8/10, right?
Hopefully.
HPDE, right? HPDE, you have to wait for a point by, and like there's all these different things. There's not 75 cars on the track.
No.
So it's what you learn on your practice day is going to really determine, the race day setup.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So if we get to usage of your system, because there's this one dream that I have, and it's a ridiculous dream. Just imagine Miss Vicky goes to the track. She's in her Miata that she loves.
Yeah.
But while being very sexy, her butt is not the most intelligent racing butt I've ever seen. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to send her out on under pressure tires, over pressure tires. I like to send her out with fully stiff suspension in the front and fully soft in the rear, and switch it back and forth. Maybe change the sway bars, and just have her do like 2 or 3 laps and just keep going and educate her butt dyno. And then
I was going to say, where exactly are you going?
I'm going to
with
land this plane.
This butt
Just
talk. Okay,
just
I'm
wait.
waiting. Okay,
just wait. I'm landing.
We're going
the plane.
somewhere.
It's coming. It's coming in. It's coming in. I've got shots of it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I asked if I could buzz the tower. They said no. I said, what about Penny Benjamin? Anyway, so. And each one of those, not only is she going to get to feel the differences, and then so she could tell me when we're in a race environment that, hey, the back end's loose. We probably need to, let's do some Days of Thunder. We're going to have to put a little wedge in the back right rear, or something like that. And something like that. Is there a way to use this supposed theoretical day at the track that I've been dreaming about for 5 years? And use that to your software to end up saying, not only does she know what she wants, but this is the recipe she really, really wants. Tell me what she wants. What does she really, really want?
I'll tell you what she wants, what she really, really wants. I don't know the rest of the song, or I'd keep going.
That's a good thing.
So talking to a race coach, one of the things that we're trying to figure out with them is, they refer to it as a sweep, but where you would take a HBD weekend and every session would have a designed, here's what you do. Yep. And yes, you'd start with 100% soft on compression, rebound, sway bars, or just compression, rebound, go drive it with your tires at your normal pressures. Come back in, go full stiff. Okay, now go to the middle, but then put your front tires to 35 and your rears to 25. Okay, next session, 25 in the front, 35 in the rear. if you have the means, adjusting your sway bars to full stiff, full soft, like opposite ends of the car. Because a lot of people, would benefit, their butt dynos would benefit from understanding how much and how little the car changes when you do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we wanted it to be a feature, where you could say, okay, for this weekend for, $25, you get this add-on, and it's going to walk you through this, and it's going to save all of that data for you. So it's going to give you, you're going to enter your tire temps and your pressures. And that's where the software can learn more about, that driver on their car, their driving style, those track conditions, but all of the extremes. So very much on the mark for what we're looking to be able to do with this.
So we basically would treat each setting as a stint and then try to correlate that with your software to the optimum, which may not be anything we tested, but something, let's say we tested 32, let's say 28, 30, 32, 34, and the PSI that we really want is like 31.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is to get the driver to be able to better communicate, hey, when we had everything at full soft in the front and full stiff in the rear, it handled really well, or it handled really poorly. We want them to be able to, we want them as a person to go, okay, that's what I liked. I want my car to have more rotation, because that is one of the questions we ask. Do you want more rotation? Do you want more stability? Do you want it to be more neutral? So by getting somebody to go through all of these different configurations, it gets them to better understand, because so many of us drive the same setup that we've been driving. It's like, all right, set our camber to here and our toe to there and our clickers to there, and we'll make some tweaks as we go.
It's a cheat sheet is what it is. Let's call it what it is. It's a cheat sheet at the track.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what percentage of your inputs, your data points, can be done at the track versus you just got to do this at the shop?
So you can do it all on your phone, right? You can actually, you can do it all at the track if you have a hotspot. It's easier to enter your initial vehicle on your computer.
No. The actual maintenance of the setup. So say, for instance,
that's all done at the track on your phone. Bless you. Yeah. That's all done via your phone. It's, because at that point it's 12 fields for your tire temps. It's 4 fields for your tire pressures. And it's a couple questions, which are, you literally check the box.
Right.
You can type in notes if you want. So that is 100% done at the track after each session.
Right. But I'm saying not from the data point input. I'm talking about the actual setup, the physical setup.
Yeah.
There's a certain percentage. Like I'm not going to run cambers at the track in between races. I just can't do that. So for your data points, what would you say would be the percentage of maintenance that I would have to do outside the track versus some of those adjustments, the more minor adjustments I would do at the track? Like I can go ahead and make the adjustments on a sway bar. I can go ahead and make the adjustments on, cranking up my struts or whatever.
Correct.
But tire pressure.
Most people trackside are going to do tire pressures, suspension settings, sway bars, maybe adjust aero. But it's going to end there. Now, depends on how ambitious you are. When we did Grid Life at Lime Rock, I brought my scales. We leveled them in the pits. We were actually realigning my buddy's car because he was having some handling issues. So he had springs. We were changing spring rates. So it really just depends on your appetite for working on your car. I will share to. Go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say it's really up to the team or the person.
Yep.
It'll prioritize them somewhat in the order of ease, and then you decide where the line is.
Yep.
Yeah, because when you get that fresh car and you're just like, okay, I need to set this thing up with, and I'm not really sure what it's going to be. from zero. The car's built. Now I have to set my setup.
Yeah.
And so because these are some of the things I don't really understand. The setups are just mostly tire, suspension. Is anything more internal that I
Alignment.
would have to alignment?
Yeah.
Yes,
Alignment,
but
corner
it's
balance,
right.
brake.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
So helping same said friend who LS swapped his BMW, so now his suspension is completely different. I've been
Mm-hmm.
on the phone with him most of today, and we were focused on getting his brake within reason, because with the new engine, the quarter balance was not ideal, and it handled that way at CMP.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent today getting the rake set up properly, then corner balancing it, then aligning it, and then you go through that cycle. So when you talk about the prep side of it, like it could be 8 hours on the front end to get your rake and your alignment and your corner
Mm-hmm.
balance all correct.
Right.
Now he'll go to the track, he'll do his first track day, and at the event during the day, he'll likely adjust air pressures, suspension settings, maybe sway bars. That
Right.
evening, if he wants to get ambitious, because he now will be checking tire temps because he understands how important it is, maybe we'll adjust his camber. The toe, on BMWs is pretty dialed in. So you adjust your camber, get your toe back to where it needs to be. But when I switched my race car from, it only ran slicks to 200 treadwear so I could do grid life. For me, it took me 4 track days to get my alignment perfect. So I had to figure out tire pressures, which were easier, but I was running the camber that I would run on slicks. I was running 4.2 up front in my
Mm-hmm.
E36. And
Right.
on 200 treadwear, it loves like 2.9. But I wasn't willing to go from 4.2 to 2.9, and I wasn't making the changes at the track because I'm often instructing.
Mm-hmm.
So I took all my temperatures and pressures throughout the day, made adjustments as I went, got home, realigned my car, re-corner balanced my car, did the next track day. Temps were better. By the time I was done, most of my temperatures were about 15 degrees across my tire, and that's a 295.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to look at my fire laps data from pit race, on 200 treadwear, I was pulling like 1.4 Gs.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good, grip on a 200 treadwear tire.
Mm-hmm.
On flat corners. This isn't like, corners that are, you got extra, downforce or camber to help you get grip. This were flat corners.
Mm-hmm. So does your program, just from the initial setup again, we spend a lot of time with newbies.
Yeah.
Like, so our if Bill has or anybody has not really um had gave you any backup of what we do, we're kind of like a 101 podcast,
Uh-huh.
and ours is bringing racers into racing. That's our
Mhm.
specialty.
Yeah.
So we talk about and answer a lot of questions, for much like what you're doing right now. It's like
Mhm.
they don't understand full setup.
Right.
So sometimes when we talk to our audience, for that certain segment of the audience that are
Mhm.
just entering into racing, and they get so
Yeah.
excited about entering, like we even ambassador these people, right?
Uh-huh.
So does your program offer suggestions, or does it say, okay, well, if you're like running Ray Bestos, that's, and this particular brand, that's not the brand that you want. You need to do this,
Yeah.
or these tires are terrible tires. You need to, and does a suggestion appear for you?
So it does make recommendations.
Good.
So this is where the AI can get confused. So if you
Mm-hmm.
said, I run Ray Bestis super specials, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's never seen them before,
Right.
right? It literally has to do what AI does, which it can go on the internet and see what they are. But if there's 4 forums that say those are horrible brake pads, you're going to get advice that it's horrible brake pads, even
Mm-hmm.
though maybe they've been running it for 2 years and like it.
Right.
So that is, AI at best, untrained, maybe 50% accurate. Like, it'll
Mm-hmm.
apologize when you call it out for being wrong and show that it's wrong. But So that's where the software is improving. So the more people that are using it, the bigger our database. Bill, as you mentioned, the bigger the database, the better the data. But yes, it will give a base assessment of their car. And this can be for the never ever, the person that's never been on track. Like I said, you just went out and bought something. You bought yourself a Mustang GT and you're going on track. Nothing's done to the car. It will literally just say, like, here's a good starting pressure.
Okay.
If you take your pressures and temps at the end, it's going to make recommendations. And here's one of the biggest mistakes we see people make. All 4 tires are running the same pressure. But all 4 tires aren't doing the same amount of work. You're not going in a straight line. And the only way you know this, and maybe your camber is different on one side than the other, right? The only way you know this is by taking temps. So when you enter this in, it's going to say, hey, by the way, you need more camber. So like if you have a bone stock Mustang GT, maybe you can adjust the camber a little bit, maybe you can't. But it's going to start putting you on that path of here's the recommendation of what needs to be done. But it's going to look at your card and what you entered is it's stock. So here's what you can do. Here's what we're recommending for the future. We will likely have partners. We already have a few partners as part of the website, but we will have, suspension company or companies that it's like, here, reach out to our friends at Suspension X and they can help you because you need more than what your car has. But it'll take the newbie that's never been on track. And then it can take the first time racer, whether it's time trial or endurance. And what is it they're trying to do?
Right.
So is there like a central storage where things get shared, or is each account separate, I guess?
Each account is separate. Yeah, you're not seeing anyone else.
So
one
if
account
I had
per car.
No. So there's different levels. So if you do a starter, there's different packages where you can do, new where you get 1 car and a couple of setups, all the way up to pro level where, like, if for somebody like yourself where you have a fleet of cars, the pro level allows you to enter all of the different cars and all of the different setups for each car.
This might be the only thing we're pro at in racing.
Oh, stop it. Trying to be
all right,
better.
So I know I didn't say we weren't trying. Look at the in training.
Yes.
In training. Anyway, because what I was trying to get to it was separate than that though. It was, why is my camera doing weird things? Good thing it's in a video podcast.
Where are you?
I don't know. I just blew up. My head's like the size of it is in real life, and it's terrible.
Sorry.
I have a double X helmet, but that, who's bragging?
Okay.
Because what I was trying to get to was, let's just say that we'll use our car as an example. We do a '93 Civic hatchback, with some minor suspension changes, and obviously it's fully gutted and everything. So it's not a race car. It's not a street car. It's a race car. But suppose we put in what our parameters are. Would it sit there and compare it to the? I'm not looking for what Tom O'Gorman did in 1993 when he was running autocross, and
Right.
Actually he probably wasn't even born then. He's so young, but something that says, hey, that might not be it. Like you're running. I'm running a super stanced out car. I've got the 45 degrees of camber. You might not want to take that to the HPDE. You might need to dial it back just a little bit,
Yes. So it is going to look at right now, because I have hundreds of track days entered in with an E36, and then Tim having an E36, multiple friends that use the beta as an E36. We have all of that data on that platform. As our customer base is growing, like we are seeing more Miatas and we're seeing more front wheel drive cars.
Right.
So as the database grows, yes, it will collectively look at that. It's not going to tell you, hey, this person's doing this. That's their secret sauce.
Jackie runs this. We need to do that.
Right.
But it's just like sometimes you like when you're new, again, we do the in training work. Sometimes, my friend told me, because they know a lot about cars. They've never raced a car in their life, but they know a lot about cars, that I need 5 degrees of camber in the front and 6 in the back, which physically can't do. I'm just wondering if the software has the ability to say,
correct. Yes.
Sure, that's really the way to go.
And one of the ways we use AI is to humanize the website. So it'll say like, hey, great job in setting up your 93 Civic. That looks like a real, fun track car. But it also goes to the extreme when it says highly dangerous, like running too much camber, right?
Are you smoking crack?
Yeah. So we have had to tame it down to get away from like the highly dangerous, caution, high risk.
This is not the plan.
It appears you're running more, rear camber than what's recommended.
Yeah. Hopefully this is a typo. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the other way? So let's say we run a car and we'll use the 93 Civic because, why not? Or I could use a BMW 36 E46. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Suppose we run the car and we know all the data is set, right? And we know let's just pick a track Metropolis track. You're familiar with it. Yeah. We run a minute 40 every single lap. It's like a 100-second lap every single time. Yep. Same day, perfect weather. It's always 75 degrees. This is a wonderful track.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're now running 105s.
Yeah.
Okay, 145. Sorry, 145. 105 seconds.
Yeah.
Does the software have the ability to say, hey, something's not right? Maybe you want to go look to make sure this, just check it because something's weird. Can it go the other way?
So this is where we do want to incorporate the data side of it. So we can look at lap times. Early on in the beta, the initial launch, we were asking lap times. And then we kept getting asked the same question. Well, what should my lap time be? And it's like,
it should be faster. It's just simple. It should be faster.
Right. Faster, of course. So we've stayed away from that, but we definitely see the opportunity. Now, likely what you would see when you added, the 5 seconds per lap is something's going to change, right?
Or something changed and I didn't like maybe changed. my camber went off
so
or my tie rod bent. Yeah.
Right. So the data is going to show that all of a sudden, like, hey, now your passenger front tire is the outer edge is, 60 degrees hotter than the inner edge. Like something's changed in the camber. You need
perhaps perhaps the sparks coming off the car from the steel hitting the ground is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where, it's shocking how few people take tire temps. So some of the people that I know that, they live in their data, they live in Race Studio. They're looking at everything, charts, graphs, but then they're not looking at the tire temps, which is the best indicator of what's going on with your car on track.
Okay. So tire temps, you went there a little bit earlier and I was being somewhat polite. It's rare for me on a podcast, but I try. You said you used a Longacre, but you said pyrometer. Are you using the Longacre thermocouple or the pyrometer?
I'm actually using the pyrometer, the probe style pyrometer.
Okay. All right. Because that was where I was going. Because the laser ones aren't really getting the job done.
Yeah. So unfortunately, they're like plus or minus 5 degrees compared to plus or minus 0.5 degrees. Yeah. So we do recommend, and they do cost more. But again, for what this sport costs, it is the most valuable tool you can buy. So we're researching the globe, literally trying to I found a product over in Europe that's not in the States. That is a smart pyrometer, and it can even do tire pressures, record it all. And then, so we want to see if we can get it to just upload right into our software
Okay.
Which, yes, you need inner, outer, center. And I'll share. Most of the time, we find people are running too much camber and too high of tire pressure.
Okay.
So it's shocking the number of experienced people that we've said, hey, try this. Like, forget what you know, just try this for one day. Just follow this path. And
But it's what I always did.
it's what I always did. And we had somebody that lives at New Jersey Motorsports Park. So you can imagine how often they're on track. And on their street car, they cut almost 2 seconds off their personal best.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, my tire pressures are 4 PSI lower than what I was running.
Yep.
I'm like, right. So,
yeah.
But then the big one is, you know, like for my car likes 2 PSI lower in the rear. But that's for my car. That's not for every BMW, but that's what my car likes. That's where the temperatures are nice and even right across. I have full contact patch. But this is what the temps tell you.
But that may not be the same for your car with someone else driving.
Oh, of course. Like I mentioned, my friends that love to drift, they're going to get on throttle and theirs are going to be off the chart. So, you know, we have to adjust the car for that. So this is where asking the person parked next to you or asking the fast person in the Miata, like, what's your alignment? Like, it doesn't matter because you're not them. Like,
and even if it's a spec, your car's not theirs.
Correct.
Yeah. So
this is where collecting the data is so important.
So how long do you think it takes for the data to really be dialed? Like, I imagine it gets a better understanding of you and your car at that track with more time, but like first time on the track versus 10th time, where do you think it starts? It's going to just funnel down, or is it pretty quick, or does it take a while?
No, I mean, the people that are using it are experiencing, you know, gains immediately, because a lot of it isn't the fine tuning of their driving style. More often it's like, hey, you're running way too much camber. Well, yeah, but online everybody runs this. I'm like, I don't care. Here's what your tires tell you.
The data says.
Right.
So, the data.
And, you know, I'll put an asterisk here and say, look, if your toe is way off, that is going to throw off tire temperatures.
Sure.
But like, if I can see that your car is bow-legged, like, I'm going to tell you need an alignment. Like, nothing I'm going to do with tire temps is going to help you. But, you know, the assumption is somebody had their car aligned, you know, even stock alignment or for the track, and it's somewhat close. But there are those outskirt situations, outer edge situations where, you know, if somebody's toe is so far off, it could throw off inner or outer temperatures because they're dragging tires. But that is the rarity. Last event I was at, there was somebody really, you know, struggling with their car. I'm like, all right, I walked over. I do have the knowledge, so I didn't bust out the laptop. I just checked all their settings for compression and rebound. I adjusted them. I didn't tell him what I was doing. I just adjusted them, and I adjusted their tire pressures. And he came in 1.6 seconds faster than the session before.
Wow.
Like, my car just feels better. Now, we then spent 2 days, you know, I helped him remotely because he's a friend, go through his entire car, but he's got 3-way adjustables with external reservoirs. Like, most people don't know what to do with that.
That's just more things for me to get wrong.
Yeah. And I'll share, most people are like, oh, I need more compression. So they hit plus. Like, no, like, you went the wrong way. So there's people adjusting their suspensions the wrong way. And this is all the stuff we can help with.
Yeah. Okay. Couple more things.
Yep.
Any chance, and I think the answer is no, but, you know, hey, why wouldn't I be like every other customer says, yeah, but it does do this. Does it do this? Is there any chance the feedback that you're getting could say influence what the driver should be doing? Like, what track are you familiar with the most?
Let's go with Palmer.
Oh, God. I don't know Palmer.
Okay. What's your home track?
Thompson.
Apparently Palmer. Okay. Yeah. Thompson. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say that, this doesn't do data. All right. Here's what I was thinking.
Bring it up anyway, though.
Here's what I'm thinking. The car is performing well in turn. Let's say we're using fire laps. The car's performing well in turns 1 and 2. 3's bad. 4's okay. 5's bad. 6 is great. 7's bad. You see where I'm doing?
Yeah.
Would your software say, hey, you've got a problem because all your left turns suck?
Yeah. So
perhaps it's either the driver or the car, but one of them makes right turns good, left turns bad, for instance.
So I'll do it a little differently because this is real world. So helping somebody that their car understeers into the corner and oversteers out of the corner.
No, right? You should host this podcast, not me. Sorry, my question sucked. Yours is much better.
It's the same. It's like the same thing, right? It's what should I be doing with it when there's multiple things or multiple corners. The software is going to recommend one thing at a time. So if your car, so you're saying all left-handers.
I was just picking something that's like your car should be doing better in the bowl at Thompson, right? So you're terrible in the bowl. Why are you so bad in the bowl?
Yeah. So we did early on when we did it for 2 months. We offered the service free to about 20 people that were using it all over the world, actually. And we allowed them to just put in the note section, like, how's your car handling? And because it's less data driven, now the AI is really trying to solve it. And that's where it ran into issues. So we had to pull that back. So this is where we would say, like, if there's multiple things or multiple corners, we're going to look at what corner has the biggest impact on your lap time, right? If that's your focus. So it's like, okay, we want to focus on 5. Or maybe we want to focus on 9 at Thompson because that sets you up for, the
big straight.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be kind of cool. Then I got 2 more.
Yeah.
Well, Vicky may have a bunch. I'm in a note writing. Well, I can't say anything, but I got notes. Let's say, for instance, a team, let's just say Garage Heroes in Training at gmail.com. It was going to have a race at in May at NJMP. And then it was going to have another race in June at NJMP. But then in September, they were going to go to Gingerman in the same car. But they'd never been to Gingerman in that car. Would this give us kind of a, hey, I know you run this and this at NJMP, but for Gingerman, maybe you should run.
Question.
Hey, I do a podcast. That's why I get paid $0. Would the software be any suggestive help? Suggestive help. No, that's the OnlyFans podcast.
Yes,
but anyway, you know what I mean.
The track, and it will make recommendations on the track. So I don't know Gingerman well enough to know whether it's elevation.
It's quite fun. No, it's Michigan. It's Michigan. It's flat.
Right. It's going to make recommendations on that compared to Club Motorsports, which is all these crazy elevations and camber corners. So it is going to make recommendations on the track. Only place where we're working on improving it is a track like Palmer that runs in both directions, which isn't common.
No.
The
Thunder Hill too, right?
Yeah, the software gets confused when somebody's running it in the reverse. So because if you say turn 7, it's assuming one direction, not the other direction. So yes, but it will make recommendations, track specific.
Okay, so one direction, you just name it Palmer, and the other name it Remlap.
Remlap, yeah. So we have, and we've played around with it. It still just gets confused running backwards.
Yeah,
so
I get you. So do I. Gingerman, you can run backwards too, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't directly do like suggested driver input changes. Like think NJMP and the light bulb on Thunderbolt. There's different ways to approach the turn. Like the argument is always diamond or gradually decreasing radius, and everybody knows the fastest way. And you know what? Surprisingly, it's the way that they do it. 100% of the time, no matter what, it's the way I do it is the fastest way because I know everything about racing.
Right. Yeah.
Would
The
it be of
fastest
any
way is
help?
the way they're most comfortable and confident, right?
No. It's absolutely the fastest way is the way that they do it. Just
Yeah.
ask them.
Yeah. So we are talking to a couple of pro coaches, and the idea is to be able to incorporate that in. But I can instruct it lightning, and I will tell them the fastest line because it's the one I drive, right?
Obviously, I mean,
obviously.
of course.
But we're talking to a couple of pro coaches. This is where we're building out the partners in different categories. And the idea would be like if you're going to lightning, if that coach has available a track walk, right? So now you have a pro level coach walking you through the line. Now,
Right.
that's still going to be the line they believe to be the fastest, which it might be different than Bill's, so it's going to be slower. So
if it's different than mine, it's slower. I mean,
it's
100%.
slower, yeah. So those are definitely things that we're looking to incorporate. Is we'd love to be able to have track walkthroughs on the front end. The suspension company that we're moving the fastest with is likely going to be able to put white papers behind the scenes on every aspect of the suspension. If you truly want to know low speed compression, what it does and what it does, in different situations, there'll be the FAQs and white papers to answer that. But we also want to have the coaching level. So at the end of the day, and this is where, we haven't incorporated with Fire Laps, but we talked a lot about this concept of incorporating the two. So you're getting the coaching as well as the car side of it. So lots of options there.
So how does the integration with Fire Laps work? I'm trying to fix my computer's going to die and I have no plugs in this hotel room.
So right now it's, we're friends. They have a discount code to our software. We have a discount code to their software. So people that sign up get the ability to use both. And Bill is missing in action.
Still here.
There it is. And Vicky can't help herself.
So sorry.
There's Racebox, there's Garmin, there's AIM. There's another new one that just popped up. Drawing a blank on their name right now, but we do have the ability to integrate with those. So now you have the data analytics, the coaching, and the car piece.
Okay. So sorry, the laptop was going to die, and since I'm the one who records, it would have been a bad day. We would have been rescheduling for another 20 times. So. Recording from a hotel. I always worry about the internet. Now my computer's running out of juice because the plug I plugged in who doesn't have any energy. But anyway, a peek behind the scenes of a podcast. You'd think 800 episodes in, we'd know what we were doing by now, but no. Anyway, okay. So does it? I'm thinking for our autocross friends, they don't really have things called tracks. They have things called parking lots or strips. Can this be used for them as well?
Can it? Yes. Is it designed for it? No.
Okay.
They're not going to get the same data points, right? The hot pressures, cold pressures, hot pressures, hot tire temps aren't necessarily going to be as effective. So, we're looking at autocross, we're looking at hill climb, we're even, we've been approached about circle track. So we're talking to somebody that specializes in circle track and can provide the data on the back end. But we just don't have the database or the data sources for autocross hill climbs, because it's more of a one-off. It's a one and done rather than, 8 laps, get some measurements, 8 laps, get some measurements.
Right. What about the people who they're handicapped? They only have 2 wheels. They don't have 4 wheels. So
no motorcycles.
No.
Oh,
okay. Just
good one.
Everybody's like, why don't you drive a motorcycle? Because I would like it. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, it does. Yeah. It really does.
Yeah. Yes, it does. You don't need another hobby. You'll be racing those too.
No, I can't keep up with the ones I have.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sure I've only begun to scratch the surface of this, and this is one of those things we wanted to add for this season. So, since we, like all of our listeners, has probably been enthusiastically looking forward to trying this out, and they want to know, how do they do that like we do? How would they do that?
Well, so they're going to go to racesetuppro.com. They're going to sign up for an account. They're going to use the discount code GHIT likes Apex, because I found
GHIT likes Apex. That's an
Yeah.
accurate statement. I cannot deny.
So with that coupon code, they will get 30% off, whether they do monthly or annually. They will save a bunch of money. And and from there, it's start using it. Email address that right in the software. If they have questions, it goes right to my email. I usually respond within minutes unless I'm sleeping. But we don't get that many questions. The biggest questions we get are people trying to enter their car on their phone. So we are doing an upgrade this week that should make the phone a little bit easier. But it's still, if it's a race car, it's still like 140 fields, and you don't even know all the information.
140 fields?
Yeah,
That's a lot of data points.
It's a lot of data
That's pretty thorough.
It is. If you have a full race car, there's a lot that we're looking at.
So what happens if you don't know something? Do you just skip it, or do you guess?
Oh, please skip it. Don't guess.
Okay.
Anything that's
like spring
left,
rates, I'm thinking,
Yeah. So anything that's left default will, it'll ignore.
Okay.
So if you put something in there and it's inaccurate, like I had somebody on their Miata that runs 205s, they were questioning the data. So I get that email of like, hey, this doesn't look right. So I log in as them and I look at their car and I'm like, do you really run 295s in the rear? They're like, no, I run 205 all the way around. I'm like, but you entered 295s. So it is
better than 502s.
Yeah, right. So
Oops.
yeah. So if you don't know, leave it blank. The friend I was helping today, one of the things we determined, and this is something that they wouldn't have known, but they need longer front springs, right? To get proper rake for their car, their spring rate is correct, but the springs aren't long enough. So these are the things that we're helping people figure out.
So your software figured that out?
So, me looking at what they were entering because they were struggling, I went in and looked, and then that's when I started asking questions about why do you have 2 inches of rake? And they had never measured it before. They just corner balanced their car.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah. So we're finding a lot of this. I'm not picking on any mechanic out there. Mechanics
you just look at our stuff. You'll have plenty of stuff to pick on. It'll be fine.
I wish I were a better mechanic, but not all mechanics are suspension experts. So you tell them what numbers you want your car set up for, and that's what they set it up for. That doesn't mean it's right for your car. It's right for your driving. It's right for your tires. It's right for the driving conditions. That's where we can help. And it's literally, you're having, there's dozens of data sources behind the scenes. It's decades of experience, documented, data in your pocket. So that's why we say it's like a race engineer in your pocket. You're not asking the person next to you. You're not going over to the person that runs a really fast lap time in their radical and
you're not Googling right there at the track.
Yeah. And we've had people give us the feedback. Oh, I used, ChatGPT and it said this. I'm like, right, as long as it's right. Did it look at your entire car, or did it look at one piece of data and give you an output?
That's what I was just thinking, is that it's summarizing all the data at one time.
Correct.
And then giving you the output of, because like you said, I could go in and check the tire pressure. I can go in and check the springs, but you could just make adjustment on one, but you're going to offset something in the other side. So you're going to be knitting the whole thing together. That's really kind of fascinating if you really think about it.
And I use a pro level AI in my, full-time job.
Right.
And I can tell you about, 50, 60% of the time it's right. But you have to verify everything. We've done that. And that's the difference when you have a trained platform. Is our platform is not going out to the world and saying, hey, what do all these forums say? Like,
Right.
our software is going after very specific data that's proven, like I said, over decades, and going, here's what you do in this situation with this setup, with these tire pressures, with these temperatures, with this aero, with these sway bars.
Right.
Does your assistant have a name?
Does what?
Does your assistant have a name?
Yeah, it's no, not when I can
No,
share.
not yet.
Yeah.
It's
Call
Setup
it Phil.
Yeah. No, I do. Yeah, I usually curse at it. It saves me a lot of time, and it costs me a lot of time. So the pros and cons.
We have a gnome in our garage that we blame for everything.
Yes.
Yeah. We call him Frickin' Rick.
Frickin' Rick.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my AI now, is now Frickin' Rick, because that's
Yeah.
nicer than what I call it.
Yeah, every time we lose something or whatever, he's especially good at stealing gloves.
Broke the Miata, Frickin' Rick.
Frickin' Rick.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't say frickin' though. But anyway. So I think one of the reasons we really wanted to get you on was you needed to have a complete set of all the racing podcasts. But two was, I think we set ourselves back when we first got into racing, because like I talked to you before we started recording, we treated the car as a black box that was just fixed, and we worked on driver. And then as we got better, we realized that it wasn't always, often it was the driver, but it wasn't always the driver. And we found the several instances where the car might have been part of the problem. And then we started fixing our driving to fix a bad car. And I think this could help some people, and it would have helped us back then.
Well, it's going to help us now with the Honda. I mean, the setups on the other two cars are fair, but the Honda is, its setups are fragmented. How about that? The Honda has a, I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. She's already starting to use it, and she hasn't even bought it yet.
I'm just thinking, like,
there she goes thinking again.
Yeah.
And I will send you your login credentials when we get off air. But what I'll say,
it's gonna be frickin' Rick.
It's gonna be frickin' Rick. So you can put a good driver. You can put a good driver in a bad car, and they can still go fast.
Right.
But my OCD, if my car is not right, like, I'll just come in. Like, I can't stay out there. Like, if something feels off, and there's everything in between.
Right.
So there's a lot of people out there that don't know their car is off, even though they have the alignment that the suspension manufacturer recommended. But in talking to those companies, when somebody calls in, they go, okay, what suspension are you running? Maybe they ask what spring rates. They don't know the sway bars, the tires, the aero. Like, they're just not asking all those questions, weather conditions. So our goal is for somebody to use this, and maybe they use it for a year or two, and our advice is putting them in the right direction. But like you said earlier, Bill, is we really want to educate them so they don't need to use the software. They know when I'm out on track, it's like, oh, my tire pressures are too high, right? This is not right. We want them to be able to make that decision without having to go in here.
Right.
Yeah. I think the worst
side, it's still going to be a database for them where they can go in and enter, and then they can go, okay, when I went to Gingerman last time, here's what we ran. And their new starting point is where they ended the last time they were there.
Right. Yeah. I think the worst position that we were in several times was we didn't know if we were terrible or the car was terrible or both. Like, when you're new, you don't know what a good car feels like, right?
Yep.
So you don't know it's the car. And then we sent out somebody who's a good driver in our car, and they came back and said, that's a debacle.
Yes.
Like what are you doing? Yeah. Because it turned out we had toe out on one side, toe in on the other, and our camera was off by like 3 degrees on one side.
So you're like crabbing down the track.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And that does happen quite a bit at HBD events. It's like, hey, can you drive my car? And so then you come in and you go, yeah, this handles like crap. And what do you mean? It's like, yeah, you have great lab times, but there's so much more out there. But if you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. I think the I've come in a couple times because I don't tend to drive other people's cars, but a couple times I've been with friends and they talked me into it. And I came in and they're like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't think anybody can drive that car. It's
Yeah.
I don't
And
know
like I
how
said,
you're
I have one
surviving
friend
out
that
there.
can drive in a car with a wheel falling off and still go fast.
Yep.
So
It's doable. It's just you don't have to sometimes. It's
correct.
like, well,
Yeah.
don't do that.
And
So
you know, the sport's expensive. If we can help
it
you
is.
get, you know, a couple extra track days out of a set of tires,
I
great.
know.
If we can save you a couple of sessions by starting off at a better point at the beginning of each track day, like that's the win.
Right.
Because, you know, I can't complain about how much a pyrometer costs if I've lost a track day because my car handled so poorly.
Right.
Like a
Yeah.
one-time expense. So, but yeah, so we're seeing it. We're being used all over North America at this point. So yes, even up into Canada. So getting more users regularly. The feedback, I'm going to say more often than not, is positive. When it's negative, it was like I mentioned earlier, trying to do too much on the phone. So initial setup on your phone, or it's something that we don't really support: autocross, hill climb, you know, things like that, which we're trying, but we're not there yet. But for the road course, if you're driving a production based car, so again, not an open wheeled, you know, F1 style car, the outputs are accurate. So all production based cars typically will understeer from the factory. So we're starting from that mindset.
Oof. Sometimes more than others, man. Oof.
Yeah. Yes. But you know, they all generally handled that way. All different types of suspension. We account for them all at this point. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you stay within a production type vehicle, you stay within a smaller parameter sandbox,
yep.
and you
And
can
it's
make
the bulk
better
of people
decisions.
getting into the sport. Most people aren't, you know,
Yeah.
going out and buying a Radical as their first car, or even a Rush or something like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. Rush would probably be pretty close, I think, but maybe
Yeah.
just outside, but close. Well, this seems like fun, and I apologize ahead of time because this won't be the only time we talk. And you've got Miss Vicky all excited. She wants to go play now, and blame frickin' Rick.
Yeah. Freaking Rick.
Freaking
Well,
Rick.
as I said, I'll send you your login credentials. You have I'll resend you the what do you call it? Get Likes Apex.
G hit likes Apex.
So you'll have a coupon code for your listeners, save 30%. And yeah, we're here to help. Look forward to hearing your feedback once you've used it.
We will. And I'm warning you, once I get a discount code for our listeners, I put it on every single episode. So we've had people from like episode 20 who still get it every now and then. Somebody writes in and says, hey, I want one of these.
I did put the expiration date as 1 year.
No, there you go. That's good.
No. We'll have you on more than that.
Perfect.
Excellent. That was great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
That
care.
just sounds fascinating.
I can't wait to hear your feedback once you've used it.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.